Gaza's deepening hunger is a man-made crisis unfolding. The situation in Gaza has reached a devastating new low. The United Nations has now officially labeled the conditions in the Strip as a full-scale man-made famine. This is not a natural disaster. It is a direct consequence of ongoing conflict and severe restrictions. The impact on the civilian population, particularly children, is catastrophic and demands immediate global attention. According to a May 2025 UNRWA Emergency Food Security Report, 94% of Gazans are currently facing catastrophic food insecurity. Reports from makeshift clinics confirm that at least 32 children under the age of 5 have already died from malnutrition. Humanitarian organizations on the ground, such as the International Committee of the Red Cross and Médecins Sans Frontières, are issuing dire warnings. An anonymous field doctor working near Khan Yunis provided a chilling account stating, "We're treating children who haven't eaten for 4 days. This is what famine looks like when it is weaponized." Pulse News recently interviewed displaced families in Nusayrat and Jabalia refugee camps. Yasser, a mother trying to care for her children, shared a heartbreaking detail. Her son dreams about apples, a simple fruit that has become an unattainable luxury. Ahmed Dawood, a former university lecturer, reported that people are resorting to mixing animal feed with what little flour they can find, simply to have something to eat. The humanitarian crisis currently engulfing Gaza is inextricably linked to the comprehensive blockade imposed by Israel since October 2023. This blockade has severely restricted the flow of essential goods, including food, water, medicine, and fuel, into the besieged territory. The consequences of these restrictions have been devastating, systematically dismantling the basic infrastructure necessary for life and creating the conditions for the famine now being declared. The May 2025 UNRWA report revealed that a mere 4% of requested aid convoys were actually permitted entry into northern Gaza during that month. Hospitals are struggling to operate without electricity or essential medicines, leading to preventable deaths and a collapse of the healthcare system. The international community has repeatedly called for an easing of the blockade, but these calls have largely gone unheeded. In a significant diplomatic intervention, Spain hosted a crucial summit in Madrid on June 1, 2025. This gathering brought together representatives from over 30 European and Arab nations, all convened to urgently address the escalating famine crisis in Gaza. Spanish Prime Minister Javier del Castillo delivered a powerful opening address that set a clear tone for the summit. He unequivocally stated, "Inaction is complicity," a direct challenge to the international community to move beyond rhetoric and take concrete steps. Prime Minister del Castillo called for an immediate and unconditional lifting of all restrictions on humanitarian aid entering Gaza. This bold stance received public backing from several other European nations, including Ireland, Belgium, Norway, and notably, France. The Madrid summit represented a conscious effort by Spain to galvanize international action and place the Gaza crisis at the forefront of the global agenda. The discussions were reportedly frank, reflecting the growing alarm and frustration among many nations. Section 4 echoes from the edge, testimonies of survival and official denials. The grim reality of life in Gaza is best understood through the words of those enduring it. Displaced families interviewed by Pulse News in makeshift shelters across Nusayrat and Jabalia paint a picture of almost complete societal collapse. One mother, Yasser, spoke of her son's simple, heartbreaking dream to eat an apple. Ahmed Dawood, a former lecturer, described the desperate measures people are resorting to, such as mixing animal feed with scarce flour to bake rudimentary bread. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, speaking at a recent press conference in Jerusalem, categorically denied the existence of a famine in Gaza. He asserted, "There is a war. Israel is not responsible for Hamas hiding behind civilians and stealing aid." The international community, however, is increasingly scrutinizing Israel's claims. A leaked report from the European External Action Service noted what it termed increasing evidence that Israeli authorities are using starvation as a method of warfare. Section 5. Flashpoint, Kerem Shalom aid denied, hope attacked. A particularly egregious incident involved a 30-truck aid convoy organized by Spain, Egypt, and the World Health Organization, carrying desperately needed supplies. Upon reaching the Kerem Shalom crossing, the convoy was inexplicably denied entry by Israeli authorities. Following the initial denial of access, the convoy was reportedly redirected to a temporary holding area. It was in this vulnerable location that the aid shipment met a disastrous fate. The convoy was struck by an Israeli airstrike. The destruction of the aid convoy, laden with life-saving supplies, sent shockwaves through the international community and sparked immediate outrage. Section 6. A world divided, international reactions and shifting alliances. The Madrid summit and Spain's assertive diplomacy have elicited varied responses from the international community, particularly from Arab nations. Key players in the Arab world, including Jordan, Qatar, and Algeria, warmly praised Spain's initiative. They collectively called for the establishment of a permanent Arab-European humanitarian corridor to ensure sustained aid delivery to Gaza. King Abdullah II of Jordan delivered a particularly strong condemnation of the ongoing blockade, labeling it medieval and genocidal in its impact on the civilian population. Qatar's emir pledged a significant $300 million rapid response package. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi also emphasized the need for regional solidarity, stating, "This is a moment for Arab unity. The siege must end, not be rebranded as security policy." In contrast, the United States, a key ally of Israel, notably declined Spain's invitation to the Madrid summit. Section 7. The weight of conscience. Moral imperatives and the search for solutions. The unfolding tragedy in Gaza, amplified by Spain's diplomatic efforts, has thrust the moral credibility of the West into sharp focus. A leaked audio recording attributed to Spanish Foreign Minister Laura Mendez by Pulse News captured her stark warning to EU colleagues: "We are weeks, perhaps days, away from a televised famine in Gaza. If we let this continue, the moral credibility of the West is gone, forever." The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres echoed these grave concerns in a video address to the Madrid summit. He stated, "We are witnessing a collapse of humanitarian norms. Gaza is a warning to us all." The UN itself, however, finds its effectiveness hampered by political divisions, particularly US vetoes at the Security Council. Indirect talks between Hamas and Israel, facilitated by Turkey and Qatar, are reportedly showing some signs of movement. A 72-hour humanitarian truce, which would crucially include the expansion of aid corridors to allow for a significant increase in assistance, is said to be under serious consideration. Spain's diplomatic initiative has undeniably reshaped the international narrative surrounding the Gaza famine. The crisis is evolving into a defining geopolitical issue, severely testing Europe's unity and credibility, challenging Arab solidarity, and profoundly impacting Israel's international standing.